How are we all? What's going on? Just let some people know we are live. Who we got in the house? Julie's here. What's going on, Julie? Yav is here. Set up now, actually. Don't know if that's it. What's going on, everyone? It's Sunday night over there, isn't it? It's 10:30 in the morning, or just after 10:30 in the morning here for me in Australia. Sin is working tonight. So what's Sin do? He works at conventions and stuff. I believe that's what he's told me. I'm pretty sure. Yes, get around it. Yeah, it sounds like because sometimes I'll see like in my streams or in Hannah's streams, he'll be going to bed and he has to get up at like 4 a.m. I'm like, yeah, no, not for me. Not for me. Did you see those? You talking to me, Yava? Are you talking to me, Yava? I've just seen it now. What's this Bark Speeder with Jesse? That looks sick. And then I'm looking at the Hot Toys version. It keeps popping up on one of the stores here in Australia. It's so expensive, like 450, 500 each. I've got my first one pre-ordered, and I've seen a few people in the States getting it at the moment. Like even Rosario Dawson got one. Mine, they keep saying May, so I should have mine next month. I'll do a video on it, reviewing it and showing everything that's inside it. But yeah, no, it looks pretty cool. It looks very cool. The detail on them is insane. So, what do you guys think of episode 12? What do you guys think of Juggernaut? get into my review of it. Break- There's not a whole lot of breakdown. With my thoughts and where I think it will go. What do you think? Short but meaningful. Short but meaningful. It was good. The only gripe was the length. Okay. Okay. Get into there's sort of two sides. Some people have like shared your guys' thinking. And I've seen others that thought it was filler. And yeah, but the common denominator seems to be just the length. It was what was it? It was only take out the cutscenes and that, like the intro. It was under 20 minutes, I reckon. It was definitely under 20 minutes, and normally they're 22ish. Well, we'll begin with my. We'll go through my thoughts here. There's not a lot to break down. There wasn't really many underlying messages or anything. There's some stuff you can like read on facial expressions. But obviously, yeah, start on Mount Tantus. Some dark, ominous music plays, just setting the scene, which is pretty stock standard. Then the CX2 trooper delivers Omega to Hemlock. And then Hemlock takes Omega to Dr. Carr and wants confirmation immediately. Because obviously she is very important to what they're doing. So yeah, wants confirmation immediately before anything else can happen, I suppose. While that's happening, though, Omega's asking, where's Nala Say? And Hemlock tells her that she's in a cell. And she won't be aiding you in another escape this time. Then Omega's telling Emery that, you don't have to do this. But you can tell on Emery's face, it's almost a bit defeated in a sense, She feels she does have to do it. She says something like, for what it's worth, I'm glad you're safe. And then Omega fires back with, am I? And, you can see the gears starting to turn in Emery's head. There's not a lot of Tantus in this episode, which was a little bit disappointing. Then, you go back to Pabu, you see the Empire, the gunships are beginning to go back up into the Star Destroyer. Well, still Venator, really, then, isn't it? But, communications are still blocked, so Hunter can't communicate anywhere. Wrecker and Crosshair, Wrecker's sort of saying, I can't believe you let Omega turn herself in. Hunter's here. And Hunter doesn't react to, the news that Omega's turned herself in. And also, he wasn't there when she did it. He was getting washed up on a beach. But he's either sensed it or, can sort of assume it. And that's why the Empire are pulling back. Then, Hunter's mentioning, because, they got to get to Tantus now. And Hunter's mentioning that, they've got no way there. And when he's mentioning Tantus, Crosshair's hand, begins to twitch or hurt or something. So that's pretty well confirming. Obviously, we pretty well knew it anyway. But that's confirming for us that, it's more mental rather than, physical injury. And then Crosshair mentions that Admiral Rampart may have the coordinates to Mount Tantus. But he hadn't mentioned it before because, it's a last resort and he really did not want to go back to Tantus, and his hand starts twitching and hurting again. Then Batcher, can sense something. So Batcher's senses are actually pretty good. Not up there, not shouldn't be as good as Hunter's, but Batcher's senses are actually pretty good. He's become a bit more than a pet. He's actually, quite valuable. But yeah, Fee comes up. She meets Crosshair for the first time. She managed to sneak into Pabu, and obviously they don't have a ship anymore, so they're gonna have to get Fee's help, and she's more than happy to aid them in going to an Imperial labor camp on Erebus to retrieve Rampart. How many minutes is the last episode? Do we get a length time? I don't know. Does that actually give us a length time? I don't think they do give us a length time because they're all meant to be pretty similar. Yeah, no, I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't think they actually. It's not like Ahsoka when you get run times and they could be 50 minutes or they could be 36 minutes. It could be quite a difference with animated shows. They're all going to be about the same. So yeah, I don't think they've. Yeah, I don't think they'll advertise. Run times aren't as big of a thing in the animated stuff because they're all gonna. This one was definitely like a minute or two shorter, but most of them are at that 21-ish mark. This one was, take it out the intro, it was just under 20, 19 something. Then obviously you catch up with Rampart. He's got the facial hair. He's working in the labor camp. Did I see you had some thoughts on this Rampart appearance, Julie, in Hannah's chat the other day? How's this after your review, please? So how does a clone have M count? We can definitely answer that after. Yeah, I don't know this. We sort of went down one of the thought processes or thought paths last week, and it ends up with my brain going dong 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 dong. The other one, yeah, no, we'll get to it after. We'll get to it after. But yeah, see Rampart is catching up. He's sweating away in a labor camp building parts or in a mine or something. On Fee's ship, they're coming up with a plan. Discussing the logistics of the base. They do a stealth landing. The boys get dropped off by Fee. These troopers, bit of a comedic moment, playing it's always quiet. Then they get stunned. And then the Bad Batch plug into the computer and locate Rampart. Meanwhile, Rampart, he's over here. It looks like they're getting credits or are they like clocking in and out? So I doubt they're getting credits. But they're getting loaded back up on the turbo tank to go back to the prison. Finish work for the day. Here's where they locate Rampart. So they formulate a plan because they can't just attack it head on. Obviously, the turbo tanks can see him coming from a mile away. So they drop down to the side of it. There's a bit of a cliff face here. Drop down to the side of it, and as it passes, they'll launch their cables at it. This is magnetically sealed, so Crosshair's saying, do you remember Plan 55? Once they're on board the turbo tank. And Wrecker, you can tell Wrecker's got absolutely no clue what he's talking about. So he's like, you just lead the way. So he leads the way. Crosshair ricochets a bullet off a few of them, gets rid of most of them. Then Wrecker, I think it was 2 left. Wrecker just finishes off the last 2. And then, yeah, they start to go through all these prisoners here, and they let all of them off besides Rampart. They just stop and let them all go walk about. Then yeah, Rampart calls out to Crosshair. Remember his call sign. And he's not the dumbest dude, so he figures out that they need something from him because they're not killing him. So he begins to bargain with Crosshair, agreeing to talk only after they get him off the planet. This is old mate here. What are they're realizing, the communications for the turbo tank are blocked. And then the speed of the tank is also increasing. So clearly something's not right. So they begin to sail off the bridge, but it's a turbo tank. They just go straight through it. Then they get to the bridge where another turbo tank begins to come at them. And then, they figure out the vulnerable part of the tank is the wheels. So they get these rockets that come out of the sun, just launch it at it. And here you've got them using that tank that they've destroyed. It's like a ramp going over the top. In the commotion, obviously in the tank, Rampart, there's like a gun that spills loose near Rampart, one of the stormtroopers maybe. So yeah, it spills loose. He goes to grab it, and as he turns around, Crosshair just shoots it out of his hand, and then stuns him. So I don't know if that's a little sign he might. I know the shot was there wasn't a lot of distance in the shot, but maybe he's getting a little bit of it back. Maybe he's getting a little bit of it back, old Crosshair. Then this is the trailer part. We saw it in the season trailer, and then we saw it in like the little sneak peek they do a night or so before the episode drops. Yeah, so yeah, he's just got gunships, pursuing them as they go along like a mountain cliff face, a bit of like a dramatic moment. One of the gunships drops a bunch of troopers on. They, shake most of them off, and then there's one left that ends up getting like crushed. I think I saw someone say it was like a bit of an Indiana Jones reference. I haven't watched Indiana Jones, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, one ends up like just sort of hanging off the side here and gets absolutely crushed. But then another gunship comes in, gets a couple good shots off at it, destroys the controls, so they can't control it, and it's just going to go hurtling off the mountain face. But then old mate Fee comes in, destroys the gunship, lowers the ramp. They all get on. Bit of a dramatic one for Wrecker, who gets on just as it goes plummeting to its end. But yeah, they go off the planet, all safe and sound. And then they begin to interrogate Rampart. He doesn't actually know the way to Tantus, because that's how it was designed. But he may know a way around that. We'll get to my thoughts on this after, but I understand it, but I just wasn't a huge fan of maybe the episode structure, maybe. And then yeah, we finish off back on Tantus. Hemlock returns for the result on Omega's blood test. Emery, you can tell just by looking at Emery here, her facial expressions, she's really reluctant. She doesn't want to do this. She has really mixed feelings about the whole thing. But she does report that Omega's blood sample yielded a favorable M count replication. And Omega's asking, what does this mean? So Hemlock shows her. So they begin walking here, and Hemlock's, telling Omega stuff we've already heard him say before. But, saying an individual's M count cannot be directly replicated. You need that middleman, which we've heard him say before. He's just telling Omega now. And attempts have been made, but each time the levels, I'm assuming they're talking about M count levels, have degraded. So they had to start experimenting. And yeah, you can tell Omega's very concerned, asking Hemlock where he's taking her. So he's taking her into the vault here. We haven't been back in to where he took Palpatine, though. I want to go back in there and see what's cooking in there. He tells her how they tried, various methods, mixing samples from their other test subjects, but nothing worked until they combined Omega's sample with one of their M count specimens. So that's like the children we saw last week with Emery. And and Hemlock's just telling Omega how, or calls her a vital piece to what they're doing on Tantus. Then yeah, the episode finishes up here. He's taken Omega in here, showing her the other M count specimens, describing them as the other piece of the puzzle. So in this room right here, you have both pieces of the puzzle. And this is where Omega's going to be staying now too. So I could see, the kids want to get out. I could see Omega working with them and coming up with something. Obviously, they've got an M count. They wouldn't have any training probably. So I don't know if they're going to be able to use the Force in any way to aid their escape. But yeah. Yeah, I feel like the kids are going to play a part in the escape or whatever's going to happen. We'll go back here. So that was pretty. There wasn't a. What sort of meaning did you guys take out of the episode? Because I'm interested to hear another perspective. Where am I? It's for me, like the episode. Obviously, I've seen some other people say it as well, but it reminds me a bit of like Mando when they breached the Imperial camp there with Mix Mayfield, Bill Burr. But yeah, no, I'm interested because I've seen some other people that didn't mind the episode too much. I didn't hate the episode, but if I was, on a ranking system, this would be the lowest for the whole season. I didn't hate it, but I just think, if you step back and take a look at it as a whole, what actually happened in this episode? As far as the Bad Batch, they pretty well ended up where they've got Rampart now, but it just felt like this happened a few episodes ago, maybe. But, there's only 3 left now. There's only 3 left, so I'm expecting the last 3 to be quite, action-packed. I'm looking at this link, Julie. I'm looking at this link. Oh wow. Yes, yep. All right, wow. Thank you for that, Julie. We are I'm just gonna go on YouTube now. Just going on YouTube now. Have Star Wars uploaded it? Or do I have to go to the IGN website or something? Thank you for that, Julie. Well done. It did look like there was a little bit of footage there I hadn't seen before. If you're on the IGN page or something. It has to be on YouTube. Surely it's on YouTube. It's not just on Facebook, is it? Why have they not uploaded it to their YouTube? Oh, here we go. I'm just going to do a little quick reaction. It looked new. Some of the footage, I only watched the first couple of seconds, but one of the things did possibly look new. I just got to, where am I? Music go off. We'll put ourselves back down here. Stop screen and we'll present, share screen. This one. All right, here we go. Wait, why can I not hear it? Oh, there we go. Why does it keep muting itself? Why is it muting itself? It's not muted. It keeps muting itself. Oh, you guys can't see it. It keeps muting itself. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, I'm just gonna watch it through. It's got closed captions on, so I should be able to see it. Okay, no, it doesn't. Why is it doing this to me? Here we go. So yeah, this is obviously what Hemlock said to her in the episode just gone. This is what Palpatine said back when the season started. This is definitely new. Oh no, that part looks new. That's not new. Not- Yeah, see those bits there look new. A couple bits look new there. A couple bits definitely look new there. I just don't know why it wouldn't let me play the audio. It cancelled me. I don't know why. I was like unmuting it, and as soon as I press play, you'd hear sound for like a split second, and then it would yeah, just mute itself again. I don't know why I did that. It's very odd. But no, that was a good find, Julie. I think it is. I think it is new. A lot of it's a new trailer. A lot of the footage used wasn't new, but there were a couple bits there, I reckon, that I don't recognize from before. I was going to Google something. What the hell was I going to Google? I don't know now. Yeah, I know. It felt a bit. It did feel a little bit like because on Tantus nothing really progressed. Like he showed Omega sort of stuff now, but everything he said wasn't anything new to us, like as viewers. Obviously to Omega it might have been a little bit of news. Oh, that's what I was going to Google. What are the last 3 episodes called? I know what the last 2 are called. I can't remember what this week's one is called. But yeah, I don't know. And then the Bad Batch themselves started pretty well where they finished it off. Like they still need a way to Tantus. They've got a source now that might, yield them a result, but that was the same. Like Crosshair was Rampart in the first part. In the first part of the episode, had been there, didn't know how to get there though. Then the same with Rampart, didn't know how to get there, but he might know someone else. So I just didn't think a lot happened. Yeah, I think Omega's face, I haven't seen that scene before, and there was a couple with Rex and the clones. So, some of the Rex ones were from a few episodes ago when the Teth was getting blown up and that, but it did look like there was a couple new ones as well. Alright, so one's called what is that? So there's 3 episodes left. Into the Breach, Flash Strike, and then the Cavalry Arrives will be the last one. So what's that? 2 days, 2.5 days, pretty well. 2.25 days until Into the Breach comes out. I reckon once that one comes out, they'll give us a bit of a better idea. But just looking at how the episodes are titled, I hope they find out a quick way to get to Tantus because they've got to get a move on now. Quick way to get to Tantus. Into the Breach would give me the idea that they get onto Tantus at least, or at least onto the planet, probably at like the foot of the mountain or something where Tantus is. Flash Strike is, maybe they either launch a bit of an assault outside the base, or maybe they even do get inside. But then maybe, it ends with them a bit pinned or something, in a bit of a shifty spot. And then the last episode, the Cavalry has arrived. all the other boys rock up. Obviously, we don't know how it's going to end. It's not going to end particularly well, I don't think. The cavalry has arrived. And we could be thinking of it a completely opposite way. Maybe the cavalry. I know the cavalry has arrived is what the Bad Batch said when they first came on screen. Maybe we're looking at it wrong. Maybe the cavalry has arrived means Vader and the 501st rock up, or something along those lines. So many different ways, so many different things that could happen. Okay, we'll have a sus on RG. See if they allow me to listen to it. So is it an IGN one as well on Instagram? Because why would they not have it on their YouTube? What's this? Have a great night, Yava. See you, mate. Thank you for dropping by. It's good to see you in here. Just logging into Insta now, Julie. Okay, well, I can hear sound now. Why do you keep doing that to me? I can hear sound now. I wonder if it's because I was sharing. Screen, maybe? Okay. Well, just pause the music. Chuck me back up there. All right, here we are. Hopefully we have a bit more luck with this. It was plain sound before.
You are a vital piece to our work here. Secure the future of this empire.
See, I don't think we've seen that before. Why does it keep doing that to me? Why does it keep... Every time I pause it.
Work here. Secure the future of this empire. The Empire's targeting us. If we all go in, we're not all making it out. We're going down. Strap in. Abort the mission. Negative. You are a vital piece to our work here. Secure the future of this empire.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's on Facebook and then uploaded it to like YouTube or anything on IGN. 'Cause it was the IGN page that uploaded it, wasn't it, on Facebook? Yeah, it's the IGN Facebook page. So I don't know why it's not up on their YouTube, but it's not. So, oh, thank you for that, Julie. Um, yeah, no, there were a couple scenes that looked new, and maybe one or two bits of dialogue. Most of it was stuff we've already seen, but there was a couple new bits. I think. Think. But yeah. What was the original question? Well, I'd like to think so at least. Um, and that's just going by how where the season's going, how we think it's going to end, and I mean, I'm looking at these episode titles: "Into the Breach," "Flash Strike," "The Cavalry has arrived." They sound pretty action packed. Like something's being launched, an assault on somewhere. But I could also be misinterpreting it way too much. So we'll find out. But in my most educated opinion, I would say, yeah, picking up. What was the question? After review, so how does a clone have M count? I don't think they. After he says you are a vital piece, what is that thing turning? Let me have a look. What is that thing? Oh, like the droid. That's just like that droid that goes into the cells and takes the blood samples from the kids, the M count specimens. So I reckon that's probably something we saw like last week, I reckon. We are going in. Let me just wait. I'll just get it up on my phone real. Oh no, I might be able to hear the audio on the Facebook one if I'm not streaming. Oh no, just complete. Why does it cut audio out for me on the Facebook one, even when I'm not screen sharing? Is it if we all go in, or is there a bit after that? Crosshair says if we all go in, we're not making it out, and all of us aren't making it out. Yeah, the only bit I heard that sounds like we're going in is the um if we go in, we're not all making it out. That was Crosshair. That was Crosshair. But yeah, to answer your question, Julie, how does a clone have M count? The two possible answers in my head at the moment. One is they don't actually have M count; it's just their blood type. I'm assuming that's the thing that gets me. I don't think they've got M count, but what about their blood makes them compatible with someone that does have an M count? So I'm like, is it just something as simple as how obviously humans have different blood types? Is it like there's a rare blood type that's compatible with an M count blood for cloning purposes? Or because then the other thing that comes into my head is was she cloned for that purpose? And if so, they should have already known about her, and they wouldn't have had to, do all this tracking down. Like they should know they've got this specimen already, Omega. Um, but then, on the flip side, if somehow she does have an M count, I don't think she does. But yeah, if your blood's compatible with an M count, I wonder, do you yourself have to have like a really, really, really small amount of an M count, or is it just there's a certain blood type that's rare but is compatible with it? What about the blood makes it compatible with an M count blood sample? Sounds like Rex. What's the timestamp? Oh, when he says we're going down, strap in. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, so we're going down, strap in. That sounds like Rex. That definitely sounds like. And then yeah, the next bit of dialogue is abort the mission, and then Hunter goes negative. Yep. 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 Then yeah, Wrecker's laughing as they're jumping out the ship. Yeah, like, what are your thoughts on that, Julie, with the M count stuff? How does a clone have M count? I don't think. Then I suppose on the other hand, Asajj thought she might. How does a clone get M count? Well, ma- I mean, Django did kill a lot of Jedi. In order to kill a lot of Jedi, you've probably got to have. Obviously, everyone's got an M count of some degree. Django's was probably higher than, you know, just a little bit. But, well, okay, no. So okay, working theory here. So Django killed a lot of Jedi. Like he killed 6 with his bare hands at one point. Um, in order to do that, you've probably got to have, better than just the normal citizen level of an M count. And Hemlock did say when they clone a direct M count, the level does degrade. And Omega's not just a regular clone. She was a direct clone of Django, like Boba, brother and sister, Omega and Alpha. Boba. So her M count would have degraded from Django's, but not as much as, a Captain Rex, Commander Jesse, a Cody, a Gregor, a Wolf. Omega's would be the Omega. Then that also means that Boba would possibly have some abilities too. But obviously you'd have to train him a lot. Like they'd have the potential there to have some abilities, but you'd have to train him a lot. That's the best theory I've got as to if Omega's got an M count. Because the fact that Asajj thought she might is sort of twisted me in that way too. Oh, now I'm torn. Now I'm torn. Now I'm torn. You asked a very good question. Make me think. See, I just want to know what about the blood makes it compatible with someone's blood that has an M count? Do you yourself have to have a small M count? Or do you just have to be like a certain blood type or something? Hmm. I hope we get answers to this. This is like my biggest question, because obviously we're going to find out how it ends. I want to know more about this mixing of blood with M count and, people that are compatible with it. What makes people compatible? This is my biggest question. This is honestly my biggest question. Hunter is going all in. I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted too. I'm like, what? I hope we start to get a bit more of an idea in a couple days. Why isn't Boba the same way? Well, that's what I mean. Like, he would have the same M count as Omega. Either or is correct. But obviously he's just gone down the bounty hunter route, which is, he's also killed Jedi. It's not easy to kill a Jedi. And, the fact that Jango and Boba, I wonder, has it ever been discussed, Jango having an M count? I'm going to Google it. Jango Fett midi-chlorian. Where the hell did that come from? What's this? In canon, trying to clone Force sensitives generally resulted in failure, as the midichlorians themselves resisted being cloned. Jango was used as a template for his physical prowess and ability to kill Jedi, not for Force sensitivity. In the TV series The Mandalorian, Dr. Pershing was harvesting blood from Grogu and attempting to inject this midichlorian heavy blood into other test subjects. What? Okay, well, that's another great question. Why are you doing that if... What's this? 25, 30 years earlier, they're trying to do that now. How does all this research get lost? Cantus gets blown up, Hemlock's inside. I don't reckon any of them make it to Exegol. Or Exegol's just completely hidden. I don't... Yeah. God, this is confusing. This is such a mindfuck. Midichlorians and the Force are sentient entities possessing a will and self-determination. In the novel Darth Plagueis, which is Legends, but can still be adapted, midichlorians are described as having a hive mind that once a host has perished, they disappear, except for a group termed maxichlorians. And Plagueis believed they returned to the Force to be dispensed as the Force itself deemed fit. Plagueis learned to control the midichlorians to prolong and create life, but did not clone them. The subject of midichlorians is at the same time both fascinating and murky. Yep. As fiction tries to describe a science that borrows from something Earth normal, while adding imagination to it. Oh, this is such a mind. I think she's going to live up to what her name means. What is the actual definition of Omega? I'm gonna look this up. The extreme or final part. End compare Alpha C, also Alpha and Omega. Something or someone designated with the name. Was it last in position, order, or class? The beginning and the end. So yeah, Boba's the beginning, Omega's the end. I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, meaning that God remains from the beginning to the end of time. Well, that's terrifying. Omega's the end. The end of what? That's a bit terrifying. Oh, now I've got so much to think about. Oh, it gets so... That article I was just reading summed it up perfectly. The subject of midichlorians is at the same time both fascinating and murky. That's the thing, like, you'd think Django would have, like, definitely a solid amount of force sensitivity. But cloning doesn't allow for midichlorians to pass through because they have a mind of their own. Unless it's like Hemlock makes it sound like they did retain some of the M count, but they degraded a bit. So Omega should have, going off that logic, Omega should have some, but wouldn't have Django's full count. I don't know how much it degrades. Oh, this is so confusing. I'm going to log off and think about this. What do we stream for? Almost an hour. Got work soon, which is really depressing, but that's alright. Well, I appreciate you guys coming through. It was a bit of a different time. We'll what's next week? I'm trying to think what I got on next week. Should be able to return to the normal time Sunday, as long as nothing unexpected arises. But yeah, should be able to go back to the normal time next Sunday. Hopefully, I have a few more of you guys in here. Say what's up. Yeah, no, it was just a chill stream, wasn't it? Just a chill stream. But no, I appreciate you guys coming through. I hope you all have because what, Sunday night over there. So I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. I know it's at the end. Monday over here, so the work week starts. Have a great week. Attack work. May the force be with you all. Always. The end and the last, yes. Yeah, no, just quickly look. It's I like the thing, but what is she the end of? What is she going to be the end of? That's the next question. The end of Tantus? Blows herself up. Anyway, until next time, may the force be with you all. Always.